When Disney Plus was announced, one of the biggest things that they made sure to go and do was expand the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a variety of ways. We're already experiencing that this year via the original shows like WandaVision, Falcon, and The Winter Soldier, as well as the currently running Loki.
What? Get help. No. Come on, you love it. I hate it. It's great. It works every time.
But one that is slated to come out soon enough is that of She-Hulk, a series that will scratch a much-desired itch in the MCU. But what do we know about it? Who is a part of it, and so on? Allow us to break down She-Hulk, release date, news, and updates. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Who is She-Hulk? Okay, so whether you're a diehard fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and of course the comics, or just a casual fan, you know about Bruce Banner, aka the Incredible Hulk. But you have to have a slightly deeper knowledge of comics to know about Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. So, we'll give you some details on her. In the comics, Jen gets shot by some henchmen for a crime boss who has it out for her dad, the sheriff. She needs an emergency blood transfusion, and it just so happens that the only available donor with the right blood type is her cousin, Bruce Banner. Her brand new gamma ray infused blood lets her Hulk out, green skin and all. Like her cousin, She-Hulk is super strong, super fast, super green, and heals very quickly. Unlike Bruce in the earlier MCU films, Jen retains her intelligence and emotional control when she transforms into She-Hulk, instead of turning into a giant, green, powerful, and yet smart superhero. As a part of the grander Marvel Comics universe, She-Hulk is an icon in many ways, and has been a part of various hero groups, including the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Oh, which she is a current member in the comics, albeit in a more savage form of She-Hulk. Long story. Hearing all of that, though, might make you wonder, why aren't they just doing a Hulk story? A very fair question, because a lot of people don't know the real story behind it. Because if you recall, there was a Hulk movie that helped start off the MCU via The Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton. Due to creative differences with Marvel, Norton didn't return to the role of Banner, and Mark Ruffalo took over once Avengers was made, and he's been with it ever since. However, there is a bit of rights issue via the studio that made the Hulk movie back in the early 2000s Universal. That movie was not well received, to say the least. And yet, Marvel Studios was able to make one Hulk movie of their own, but not another. Marvel Studios can use Bruce Banner in a supporting capacity, which is how we got Thor Ragnarok, but he can't be used as the sole leading role. Thus, to get over that loophole and expand their roster, She-Hulk was given the green light. Who's in it? Regardless of what you think of the MCU overall, you can't deny that 9.5 out of 10 that they get the casting perfect on the first try. Edward Norton was ironically one of the few times they missed. And so, the casting of She-Hulk was going to be an interesting one right from the get-go. During the Disney investors meeting in December 2020, Marvel boss Kevin Feige announced that Emmy-winning actress Tatiana Maslany will be playing Jennifer Walters in the show, confirming the casting rumors that have been circulating since September. Maslany is a fan-favorite actress thanks to her stunning performance in BBC America's Orphan Black, which saw her playing 14 wildly different clones over the course of the series. Most recently, she starred opposite Matthew Rhys in the first season of HBO's Perry Mason reboot. To be clear, we're not sure how Jennifer will look in the series, both in her regular form and her Hulk form, but we bet that it will be accurate enough to the comics. Feige also announced in December 2020 that Mark Ruffalo will be appearing in the Disney Plus series as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Which is good because, as we already detailed, Bruce Banner is vital to the origins of She-Hulk, and to have her get created without him would be an insult in certain fashions. Tim Roth will be reprising his role as the Abomination, the villain he played in The Incredible Hulk. This is significant for multiple reasons. Not the least of which is that in the recent trailer for the upcoming Shang-Chi movie, the Abomination was seen in a fight club of sorts. Whether this is before or after that point, canonically, is not clear at this time. In a series synopsis released in December 2020, Disney wrote that She-Hulk will welcome a host of Marvel characters to the series. This is important because in that synopsis, they noted that She-Hulk will be a legal comedy of sorts, with Jennifer working on superhero cases, which is exactly what she does in the comics. So it would make sense that certain characters would go and visit her. Filming now. So what is the status of She-Hulk? Well, it's currently filming. The shooting of the series started in Los Angeles on April 10th and is expected to complete on August 30th, give or take. The shooting of the series was supposed to start in July of 2020, but it was delayed because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, which, not so ironically, was the case for many of the Disney Plus shows, as well as the various MCU movies that were supposed to be filmed and out by now. That being said, production is rolling, and more than likely, you can expect it out in 2022, alongside many of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. In fact, we wouldn't be surprised if things went a certain way because of the success of the Marvel shows so far. From WandaVision to Loki. Here's the thing. As we just said, the original intention of the Marvel Disney Plus shows was to start last year, alongside some of the big MCU movies that were supposed to be released then, like Black Widow, out soon, and Eternals, out in November. However, the pandemic changed that, and it might have been in a good way. Because WandaVision was able to get filming despite the pandemic restrictions, and so when it came out in January, it was honestly one of the only new shows out during that time. And as such, via the one episode a week method that Disney Plus does, they were able to build excitement for it week after week until it ended. Not long after it ended came Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which marveled, see what we did there, everyone, by how deep and cinematic it was. And now, Loki is charming everyone because, well, it's Loki. The point here is that the delays and the restructuring of when things came out helped build up the Disney Plus shows. And that will likely help out when She-Hulk arrives because it might be the catalyst for Phase 2 of the shows. A true serialized series. Here's the thing. Of the Marvel shows that have aired on Disney Plus right now, only one of them, Loki, is stated to have the potential to go beyond one season. WandaVision was a limited series, and Captain of the Winter Soldier was a movie-like experience that helped greenlight Captain America 4 with Sam Wilson at the lead. But with She-Hulk, there's a chance to go for multiple seasons, not just because she's a new hero being born, but because of her nature as a lawyer and the people she can meet. And since this is a comedy, which Marvel loves to do, you can bet that if they get enough people to watch it, they'll expand it and let this hero grow. This could also be true of other series coming soon like Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight. Hulk smash, expectations. Finally, there's a big reason why many should want She-Hulk to work. Because it can fill the void that has been left by the Hulk side of the MCU due to the rights issue. Despite what people think, there are a lot of characters from Hulk's world that could be tapped for a show like this. And when you throw in the grander MCU with all the characters that might call on Jennifer Walters for her legal aid, and you've got a unique nexus of a show that can't be ignored. True, we have no idea how this will look or be, but given the track record of these shows so far, we think it'll work out well. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at She-Hulk's upcoming Disney Plus series and how it's going to help shape the MCU as a whole going forward? Are you excited for this show to happen? Do you think it might be a showstopper on Disney Plus when it arrives? Do you want more Hulk-focused content on Disney Plus? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.